Okay, so people seem to be infinitely curious about what I like to bring around with me kind of every day inside this backpack. So I am here to share a little bit about the things that I take with me every day or my everyday carry 2022 items. So here we go. I think just like any other everyday carry video should start off with, it's the bag you decide to carry your items in. Mine is the Peak Design Everyday Carry Backpack version 2. It's been an amazing backpack, as you can see here. It has kind of like this main top flap compartment. You just flip it up, and it opens up into this wide top down view of your bag. And inside here, you can see these little flaps that come with the bag. If I open it up from the side, I see all this big compartment, just kind of like just one big hole inside the bag. And then in order to separate the spaces, you get all these different little flaps that come with the bag. You get two flaps that come with the bag. I decided to take one out just because I didn't need that second compartment or that second flap. But inside the bag, you can see it's looking pretty nice and big. This is the 20-liter version, not the 30-liter version. I do prefer a smaller backpack as I don't like to break my back carrying around a ton of stuff every day. Inside this bag, inside this big compartment, you get little flaps on the side to carry like small things like pens and maybe extra batteries, whatever it may be, makeup. And you also get another small flap down here. And furthermore, inside there are little compartments in here for whatever you might want to carry. The same is true about the other side of this bag. You get that exact same thing just mirrored on the other side. You also get just your classic kind of water bottle holders inside the bag. It also comes with like these little flaps. I think it's for carrying a tripod or something. I'm not really sure what these are for. I just never use them. Inside this top flap as well, you do get a little compartment right here. But I think that's it. There's a ton of things I like kind of discover about this backpack every day. In terms of just like new compartments that I've missed or haven't discovered. But this backpack has like a lot of ways to organize all like the small things that you might carry, as well as enough space for all the big things that you might want to carry, like cameras. So it's a really nice backpack. It's treating me well. I don't really like the way that it wears, especially this blue color. It kind of gets like these marks on the outside of the backpack that I'm not really a fan of. You kind of see it here. On top, like the leather handles, the strap up here wears pretty well, but as you can see, kind of like these white marks show up on the backpack and it starts to get like this white little fade to it. I don't really notice it after a while, but yeah, I don't really know how I feel about that in general. I do have this little like hand sanitizer pouch on the side. It has lots of nice handles which you can grab all around the backpack. But backpack's pretty simple, and that's probably why I like it so much. It's very well thought out and designed. It's not very complicated to use. Access is easy all the way around. It's not like a super hard shell backpack, but it has a solid structure to it, so that like if you drop your thing, like your key gear inside won't be absolutely crushed right away. Like there's like a bit of like there's not a lot of give in the backpack. So it's not a hard shell case, but it's not a soft shell case. It's somewhere in between. One complaint I do have is that larger water bottles tend to not fit inside these side pockets very well. So if you're carrying something really large, like a 1 liter bottle, it might not be its best carry option. What do I have in here? I have a Walt Disney World thing. It's a Vaseline. You always gotta stay strapped up out here. Can't be seen with dirty lips. So got a pack of gum just in case my breath gets stanky throughout the day. Clean your teeth. But I do use this backpack all the time. It is my favorite backpack that I've ever owned so far. Really simple and just kind of a. I don't really have any complaints about it, which is a good thing. It also comes with one of these like little Peak Design anchor straps as well. Not really sure what this is meant to be used for, but hey, these are pretty expensive if you buy them individually. So I guess you get a free one that comes with the backpack. Um, the straps themselves are quite comfortable. They're not the most comfortable straps ever. I tend to find that these I don't know what you call them. These strap adjusters, they tend to get loose really easily. So I do have to tighten it up all the time, which can be a hassle for some, but not really for me. Because I do enjoy a looser fitting backpack most of the time. I know this is kind of strange. A lot of people don't like that, but I like that. So that's important to me. I also have one of these Peak Design capture clips on my backpack. It makes like kind of like when you have to fiddle with things with your hands and you have a camera and you don't really have anywhere safe to put it, you could just put it on to this little capture clip and your hands free for a while. But for a while, and it's quite comfortable and feels quite sturdy on the backpack. You know, it's kind of a made for this type of strap, so fits really well. I quite like it. It comes with this adjustable kind of sternum strap, which is really comfortable if you're out for quite a long time. I don't use it very often because I'm not always like going on a hike or something with this backpack, but I've gone on hikes with this backpack before and it's quite comfortable. So no real complaints there. It has this little pass-through in the back. I've never really used it. It's supposed to be meant for tripods, but I don't know. I've never used it personally. Never really had a reason to. Um, there's also like these little like anchor places for you to put stuff. I don't even know what that's used for. They probably advertise it to be something, this or that, but you know, I never really use these less explored places of the backpack. Also, at the top, you have a little laptop compartment. Open it up and see inside. So they have enough space for. I have a 16-inch MacBook, and that fits into this backpack nearly perfectly. So maybe with larger laptops over 16 inch, it won't fit. But for my 16-inch MacBook Pro, it fits just fine. Reach inside, quite a bit of space in here, more hidden compartments. You have separate flaps in here as well for your stuff. Like you have this flap, that flap. It's all magnetic back here too, so it closes. And you have other little like compartments in here for storing things. I have a random SSD drive. We can just dispose of that. But yeah, this also flips up if you have something more you want to protect. Pretty nice. I think you're supposed to put your laptop in here if it's like a smaller laptop or something like that, like a 13-inch. Like I said, like I'm not very fiddly or organized with these types of things, which is why I kind of like simple designed backpacks that don't require a lot of faff. Just really simple backpack, really well thought out. I really enjoyed it. I think the biggest thing with most of the bags is that you don't have any major complaints with these types of bags. And kind of like the lack of complaints is what makes it such a good backpack. So I really enjoyed this backpack, and I'll show you some of the stuff that I put in it every day, and I take it around with me every time I go out. Okay, so uh, typically I always have a small type of everyday camera that I bring with me. You'll always typically find me with one of these unless we're doing something that you know people don't really want to take pictures of, or people don't want their pictures taken or whatever. Like if my hands are occupied during that activity, but I'll typically always have a everyday sort of camera on me. Right now, these are the two cameras that I probably use the most. It gets pretty dark here in Seattle during the winter. So recently I've been using this Fujifilm X100V a lot more. But during the summer, during the spring, and the early fall, I do prefer shooting with 35mm film cameras. This is my probably my oldest film camera and my film camera I use for most of like shots on like Instagram or anything. But this is a Canon AE1 program. You could pick one of these up for like $300 with the lens now, but these are typically what I would bring with me, one or the other, on just an everyday basis. And these will usually just go into my backpack, just through the top, into a top strap, into the top compartment, and yeah, I'll just change them in and out depending on the light. Really, if it's a nice bright sunny time outside like today, I'll bring out the film camera. And if it's a little bit darker and a little bit more moody, I'll bring out my Fuji for that. But these are my two everyday cameras. I do have two Sonys which are filming with me right now, but I don't typically bring those out every day just because they're a little bit larger. They're more a little bit attention grabbing. And you know, when you're just out with your friends or your family, you don't really want to grab too much attention just living your life. So I typically bring a lot smaller camera for just everyday type of occasions. But every once in a while, if I'm feeling a bit risque, I'll bring out one of the Sonys with me. And this Sony right here that I'm pointing at is a A7 IV, and this camera that's filming the overhead is a A7S III with a Rode mic on top. And for my laptop of choice that goes into my backpack every time I go out, this is the MacBook Pro with, I think, the 16 core chip inside. I don't remember what it's called, like the M1 Pro, 16 gig CPU, something like that. But this is my go-to laptop. It is a little bit bigger, I think, for an everyday laptop. But because I do so much editing on this, photo and video editing, on this laptop, I do stare at the screen a lot. So I do prefer a larger screen just kind of for like staring at. So which is why I got the 16-inch over the 14-inch. But this is typically always with me, especially when I'm going out to do some work at the coffee shop, or even at home here. I use this primarily as like a main computer for editing. So this is the laptop that I take around with me the most. It's not very exciting, but it's definitely a great laptop and gets the job done. I never had a problem with this laptop, which is why I really enjoy it. This is also this is also my phone of choice. It's the iPhone 14 Pro. I did a quick review of it. It's a good phone. Another iPhone. Always gets a little bit better every year with the iPhones, but it's a great phone. Cameras are great. No complaints about the phone either. So, before I move on to kind of like what my everyday headphones are, I want to share like the film that I use the most. I shoot a lot of film, particularly a lot of 35mm film, and lately these days a lot of 120. But my go-to film right now, or for like the last year, has been Portra in all its kind of formats. Typically, I shoot a lot of Portra 400. Portra 400 is kind of like your overall great film. It looks good in most conditions. I think when you think of like a high quality film photo, it's typically taken with Portra. So I shoot a lot of Portra just kind of naturally. It is my favorite look. It's very clean, and I kind of know what I like by now. But Portra is definitely the look I go for 99% of the time. I also have some Portra 800 when it gets a little bit darker, when deep into the fall, early into the winter. So make sure I get some higher ISO films into the rotation. But these would just go into the bag as well. These are also my headphones of choice, or these are my headphones of choice. These are the AirPod Pro 2s. Maybe I'll do a quick review on these, but these have been amazing. Super convenient since I do use a lot of Apple products. They sound great. The transparency and noise canceling on them are fantastic. I honestly think that if you were to spend $250 on any type of sound device as like a stereotypical uh, human stereotypical human being, as like a normal human being, you'll probably get a ton of value out of these. Like I have them in my ears almost every day, couple hours a day. So that just speaks to how good they are, how comfortable they are, and probably some of the best money you'll ever spend in your life. Last you a long time as well, as long as you don't lose them. But great headphone, very nice. I typically also always have like an external drive of some type on me just because the files that I work with are so large that they fill up my computer space really quickly. So I like to transfer a lot of files into this SSD, particularly things like photos and videos that I might not want to look at until later down the road. But a fast SSD is kind of a must for just working with a lot of files. One of these right here is also really important. This is just kind of like a very stereotypical blower. Clean up all your laptop screens or your laptop keyboard when they get dusty. Clean up your space when it gets dusty. Clean up your lenses when it gets dusty. This is really convenient. Just get a little really nice. I prefer a small one just because it fits into bags. I don't like things taking up a lot of space and breaking my back, so this is my go-to blower. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for the things that I carry around with me a lot. It's not too much stuff. Um, Pretty simple things. I'm not one of those people who likes having like a ton of stuff on them all the time. It feels kind of scary having like thousands of dollars worth of things inside your backpack that could be stolen at any time. So I'm pretty conservative about the amount of stuff that I bring out with me from time to time. But yeah, these are things I pretty much use every day. If I go out, they're on me. If I'm at home, I'm using them. So yeah, pretty simple things. This is my everyday carry, and thanks for watching. Peace out. Bye bye.